Today I want to talk about growth. It's something I read recently. There's actually a Bible verse in Matthew 6:28. It talks about do not worry. It talks about anxiousness. And the verse relates to God taking care of the birds of the sky, the grass, the lilies of the field. And the verse actually goes, consider the lilies, how they grow. They do not toil or spin, yet in all their labor they are more gloriful or beautiful than all of Solomon's splendor. Something along the lines, I might be paraphrasing a little bit, and what struck out to me recently was I typically, when I heard that phrase, consider the flowers of the field, consider the lilies, look at the birds of the sky, look at nature around us, a lot of times people are talking about how God, the creator, since he created everything, he cares for everything, whether it's really small like the grass or a bird. So if he cares about the birds and he cares about the grass and cares about the flowers, it must mean that he cares about us. And then how much more so if we're made in his image? We are the highest on the totem pole of nature. So he must care about us at least equal, or if not more. And that makes sense. I believe that is a good analysis of the scripture. But recently I got a deeper revelation from it. And it wasn't even revelation that I got internally. It was actually came from a book that I thrifted for $5. That was actually written in 1898. So over 120-year-old book. And it was written by a man who, on the weekdays, his profession was a scientist at a university in London. But on the weekends, he was a pastor at a local church. So he was somebody who could actually combine both the science principles and the principles of the world, the physics and the mathematics, and combine that with his spiritual knowledge. And it's actually a fascinating book. It's called The Spiritual Law in the Natural World. And I'll try to find a link for it. I think we can find it on Amazon, like a reprinting of it. I'll put it in the description. But what he talked about, he had a whole chapter around growth specifically. And he actually mentions this verse, consider the lilies, because it's consider the lilies. And the old translation was lilies. The new translation, a lot of Bibles in scripture will say, consider the flowers of the field. I like lilies because lilies are representation of purity. It's used a lot of times in Renaissance. It's used historically as a symbol of purity. But anyway, so when he talks about it, he says, it's the second part of the verse you want to look at. It's consider the lilies, how they grow. So actually that verse is not talking about God caring about the small. I mean, it is, but the main essence of it is the growth, the principle of growth. And we today, we want to grow everything quicker. We want to grow taller. We want to grow our business quicker. We want to grow our studies and get an A on the test quicker. We want to get everything quicker. So we're always looking for the next shortcut path to success quicker, growth quicker. Whether we're working out, whether we're in school, whether we're in business, in relationships, we always want to get that next stage quicker. And what's the little hack? And there's so many different people that their whole career now is giving us tips and tricks on how to grow your business, grow your body, grow your spiritual growth by doing these little things in this time. And the reality is, man can't force growth. Just like the lily of the field, the flower cannot force itself to grow. All we can do, all the flower can do, is plant its roots and then absorb the nutrients that the Creator God has given it, and then grow based on what it's been given. It can't force its growth. It can't force the nutrients to come. It can't force the wind, the rain. It just stays still. It just is. It focuses on being in the present, continuing to do its singular work that it's built to do, which is push its roots down and continue to reach up. And it's a great analogy for us as well. It's like we aren't supposed to try to grow. We're supposed to just plant our roots and then take what is given to us, the rain, the water, the wealth, the resources, the people around us, the opportunities given to us, to take those and continue to reach upward, utilize them. And another beautiful thing is not focused on anything else around us. The lily is singular purposed. The flower is only focused on himself. it's not focused on the flowers next to him. It's only focused on planting its roots deeper and stretching upwards. And the outcome of a lily, the outcome of all flowers, is to produce some sort of fruit or seed. And I was talking to another spiritual mentor of mine, and she was talking about how lilies actually produce a sap. And that sap is essentially like a seed that at a certain point it matures, it falls over, and that helps grow more flowers, and then also pollinate. Bees come and helps the environment grow. And it's a beautiful analogy back to us again, is we're supposed to produce fruit. The work that we do, the things that are given to us, we're supposed to do something with it that benefits people around us, not just ourselves. The flower is not just benefiting itself and then dying. It doesn't just grow and die. It grows, produces, benefits surrounding areas, and then it comes to its end of life, returns back to the earth, and repeats the cycle again. So it's a great analogy for us, especially in terms of just thinking about today and thinking about if we're worried about the future. The verse is around anxiety, and it is around worry. And it's because I think the author knew that it was a timeless principle of whether it's 2,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 200 years ago, 20 years ago, or today. Men, when I say man, mankind, man and woman, people, we have always tried to grow quicker. And that's not our focus. Our focus isn't to grow quicker. Our focus is to be and to do the work that we're supposed to do in that moment. It's a fascinating principle. It's helped me realize a lot and focus back on my main purpose and the work that I'm doing every single day. Consider the lilies, how they grow. It's how they grow. Consider the lily. So my question for you, are you focused right now on growth? And if you are, analyze that reason why. Because sometimes, that reason comes from outside of ourselves. We're influenced by our surroundings. We're influenced by our environment. And, ask yourself, is it better to focus on growth and things out of my control and the outcome, or focus on the present moment and the task that I'm supposed to be doing right now at hand? I believe it's the task at hand. And it's an important reminder. Consider the lilies, how they grow. I'm saying it again because it's beautiful. I encourage you to go check out that scripture. It's Matthew 6:28. I believe it's like 25 through 35. There's a whole kind of parable about the birds of the sky and the lilies of the field, and how God takes care of everything. And it's powerful. God brings the rain. He brings the wind. He brings the soil. He plants you in that specific soil. Even think about that, the principle that I talked about in the book. The lily doesn't even try to find the right soil to grow. We might try to find the right business to grow, the right career path, the right degree to pick, but in reality, that's not the task. The task is just to focus on being, and in that being, we receive. So I come back to quiet time. It's important to have quiet time. It's important to have stillness to be able to hear God's voice, because if we're always moving, we're always trying to grow, we're always focused on the future and the next thing, then it's hard to take the wind, take the rain, take the nutrients given to us, the wisdom given to us, the insights given to us, if we're always focused on the next thing. In the book, the guy actually mentions another, interesting thought. It's like, has man ever added 1 inch bettering themselves to their, added an inch to their lives, inch to their height, an inch to their body, an inch to their business, an inch to their mind by just thinking about something? Because ultimately, a lot of times, we're stuck in our heads. Plane's coming over here, really low. Interesting. So, what was I saying? Oh yes, we're thinking a lot. And so just can thinking add anything to our lives, There's people out there talking about manifestation and just thinking something into existence, and it's like a half-truth, because to create something in existence, you have to go and create it. It starts off maybe with an idea, and it starts off by thinking, but then you have to go do. You have to go do the work, take the idea given to you, take the resources given to you, the wind and the rain, and then grow. It's fascinating that we can't, by just thinking alone, you can't become better. You can't just grow. And a lot of people a lot of times we're staying in the trap of just thinking, because even consuming all these growth things, reading books about self-growth and self-help and business growth and personal growth and talking to advisors and mentors, that's all a thinking process, no doing. It's a thinking and talking process, when we really should be focused on just being still, less thinking, being and doing, and listening. Because if you're thinking, you can't hear. So more time still, more time quiet. How much time do you actually have quiet? Are we listening to just music all day, looking at something? I caught myself reading a lot, just reading a lot of my spare time, eating a meal, reading a book. And that still doesn't allow time to think. If I'm walking my dogs, do I listen to music and then have a form of distraction, or do I take that time to just walk in silence in nature, listening and open to receiving something from God? And I've been doing the latter recently, and it's beautiful. It's so much more peaceful, so much more calming, and the concept of anxiety really does diminish the moment you return back to being and return back to stillness and return your thoughts and your mind away from growth and the future. Not that it's bad to have thoughts about the future and be aware of the future. Again, that's everything's a gray area. There's no black or white. You can't ever be in the future or ever be in the past. The past helps you reflect and better yourself, and the future helps you prepare and have an understanding of where you're moving towards and your resources. And it's good to have a end state in mind to help get you to a goal, but it's not the focus of the end state or the focus of the future. You're not supposed to be thinking only about the future all day long, because you really can't control that. There's another verse, scripture around that, talking about, do not worry about tomorrow, because today's got enough troubles of its own. And it's a beautiful verse. It's like, that applies to everybody, regardless of your religion or background. Why do we worry so much about tomorrow? Because today we have enough challenges. Today, just receive today. Take the wind today. Take the rain today. Do the work today, and tomorrow will come. And then when tomorrow comes, do it today. Do it in that moment. So that's my thoughts. I hope that the Consider the Lilies speaks to you differently. I hope that when you read that now, Matthew 6:28, that there's a different insight that comes to it. That maybe right now, where you're thinking about growth, you're thinking about the future a lot. Maybe hopefully this brings a little bit of peace, a little bit of comfort, and diminishes the anxiety that could be possibly affecting you right now. And I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you have a blessed week. I plan on, I need to talk more here, but when I do talk, I want it to be meaningful, and I don't just do this for any reason other than to record my thoughts for future and my future family, really my future kids. I want these videos. I'm talking to you, my child. I don't care who else watches this other than my future family. These are like my letters to my children. And that's the framework I think I'm going to keep moving forward with. This is I'm talking to you, my child, and I want the best for you. And this is me in my current state of thought at 28 years old. And I know it's going to continue to evolve and grow, and I'm excited to document that process for you. Anybody else listening, the friends and people that I mentor personally in my life, I want the best for you as well. And I think it's important. You get distracted by all the media and too much stuff, too much stimulation. But it's important to remember the lilies. Consider the lilies, how they grow. And as my coffee mug says, good things ahead. Pro tip: blueberries with coffee is like peanut butter and jelly, or, cheese and wine, or chocolate and wine. Chocolate and coffee is amazing as well, but blueberries goes with any coffee. I don't know why coffee shops don't serve blueberries with coffee. It just enhances it. But until next time.